Painter's Diary. I had been painting for a while now. Over the years, I tried to convince myself that the art I create has less to do with the demand for adulation, appreciation, and respect, and more to do with being a medium of expression. This belief could not drive my passion for long. The lack of recognition and understanding slowly turned into a deeply rooted sense of hatred and agony toward my art. The virility and joy of being free, independent, and relaxed had died. I was setting up exhibitions visited by the rich and the affluent who gave ignorant nods and unfaithful smiles with a nasty look of pity. The day I was diagnosed with cancer, I was terrified of the pain and suffering ahead. Yet, over the following days, it slowly became an opportunity. Social media gave me a platform where I could link the story of my diagnosis and my paintings with a single thread. A sudden downpour of sympathy, success, and recognition followed. People began to read and look at my work through a lens of self-inflicted meaning, finding relatability and reflections of their own pain in it. To be honest, my interest in art had faded by then, and my sheer motivation was fixed only on regaining my health. By this time, I had become a sensation on social media and was occasionally invited into the company of renowned artists. I now had access to the private clubs of the rich and affluent. The constant inflow of money wrapped in an envelope of understanding, sympathy, and art helped me through the tough time, and I was able to beat the disease. After my remission, I tried to keep myself engaged with my patrons and fans by speaking of hope, strength, and perseverance. People tried to follow that, but my overly passionate sense of happiness and renewed life found less relatability and failed to satisfy the hunger for tragedy that seemed essential in an artist's life. I was slowly losing my audience, and to my surprise, there was a talk of me being a fake, delusional, and commercial. Commercial is the single most derogatory word in the field of art, where almost everything is a show. It is hard to live without attention. It is harder to live with lost attention. I had to do something extraordinary to regain my fame. The desperate need for love and recognition drove me to paint myself as a man in agony and trauma, reflecting meaninglessness and hopelessness. I made it a point to deny the gift of survival, and in an even more desperate attempt to gain solidarity and affection, I announced my final exhibition, my last 10 paintings. The idea was simple. I would create 10 paintings, and on the day of the 10th release, I would end my life. This became the epitome of pain and suffering. The word was head over heels. Each painting was read, interpreted, and written about in ways I could never have imagined. I had regained my glory. I was the martyr of art. Every word I spoke was treated as a pearl thrown before mortal beings. They wanted to collect every inch of my greatness and live with that exceptional idea. I felt alive again. But once I finished the 9th painting, the reality of my promise closed in. I could not pick up the brush. The colors failed me. What had I done? I felt like a contestant on a reality show, and my audience like its crowd, more interested in my dead body than in my work. Yet I had gone too far. I could have escaped the crowd, but not myself. In the remotest corner of the world, my own soul would have mocked me and driven me to madness and death. To avoid that insufferable torment, I sat in my room to create the last painting of my life. No shape would stay in my mind for long before disappearing into oblivion. I was drenched in sweat, my heart throbbed, my lungs seemed to shrink, Out of breath and in that state of physical torment, I picked up my brush and drew a single horizontal broken line. And that, my friend, was my last paint.